Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Pada pertemuan ke-27 ini kita akan membahas mengenai evaluating materials and textbooks. Issues to be discussed: the nature of textbooks, advantages and drawbacks of textbooks, why is textbook evaluation important, stages in the textbook evaluation process, identifying criteria, using checklists for textbook evaluations, phases in the textbook evaluation process, involving learners in the textbook evaluation. Textbooks, course books, materials. In many cases, the term materials is used in place of textbooks, which refers to anything that is used by teachers or students to facilitate the learning of a language. The term textbooks is still widely used, but its reference has expanded from books to all the materials used around or independent of the books. What is a textbook? A textbook is meant to provide the core materials for a course. It aims to provide as much as possible in one book and is designed so that it could serve as the only book learners use during a course. The textbook is an almost universal element of English language teaching. No teaching learning situation, it seems, is complete until it has its relevant textbook. Types of EFL materials: printed materials, non-print materials, both print and non-print sources, magazine, newspapers, and TV programs. The nature of textbooks. While a syllabus specifies the goals and objectives of a language program, materials translate these goals into pedagogical action. They embody the aims and values of a particular language teaching or learning context. For many teachers around the world, the syllabus is the textbooks. Even if an official syllabus exists, teachers may have no knowledge of it or may not have access to it. The textbook is the most tangible and visible aspect of the curriculum. Noonan, 1998. Materials define what is worth knowing. Materials also convey particular cultural values and stereotypes. Choosing textbooks. Thus, the choice of a particular textbook signals a major educational decision, since a textbook will define, to a large extent, what teachers will teach, how they will teach, and even what students will learn. The advantages of textbooks. They provide structure and a syllabus for a program. They help standardize instruction. They maintain quality. They provide a variety of learning resources. They can provide effective language models input. The advantages of textbook: in short, they offer security to teachers. Textbook can also save teachers a lot of time. One of the primary advantages of using textbook is that they are psychologically essential for students, since their progress and achievement can be measured concretely when we use them. For learners, textbooks act as reference books and guides. On the basis of their textbook, students know what has been covered. Textbook can also facilitate the introduction of innovation and can act as agents of change. Problems with textbook: failure to adequately describe the levels of learners, omission of course rationale, looseness in the use of terms, distortion of content, adoption of traditional language learning processes, unhelpful teacher guides, failure to recognize constraints. Textbooks are often too inflexible and generally reflect the pedagogic, psychological, and linguistic preferences and biases of their authors. More recent authors have criticized textbooks for their inherent social and cultural biases. So, taking all this into account, textbooks are necessary evils. No textbook is perfect. Bearing these faults in mind and the fact that the selection and use of a particular textbook is a major educational decision which has immediate implication for the quality of student learning, it can easily be appreciated how important textbook evaluation is. An appropriate textbook. No perfect textbook exists. In order to decide whether a particular textbook is indeed appropriate, textbook evaluation is necessary. Textbook evaluation, like any other evaluation activity, should be focused, systematic, and principled. Purposes of textbook evaluation: to select, to adopt and revise, and textbook evaluation can also serve the purpose of teacher development. Steps in textbook evaluations: analyze the nature and underlying principles of the teaching or learning situation. On the basis of the result of your analysis, define criteria on which the evaluation will be based and prioritize criteria. Analyze the nature and underlying principle of the available materials. Compare the results of the two analyses. How far do the materials fulfill your chosen criteria? The importance of identifying criteria. Textbooks are evaluated according to the following criteria: A, B, C, D, E, F, G. A. Practical consideration. B. Layout and designs. C. Activities. D. Skills. E. Language type. F. Subject and content. And G. Miscellaneous. Textbook evaluation checklist. They are systematic, they are cost effective, they are convenient, they are explicit. The problem with ready-made checklists, however, no off-the-shelf checklist can be used without adapting it to the needs of your student, the goals of your syllabus, and the constraint of your context. The criteria included in many checklists are problematic. McDonald and Shaw checklist: the external evaluation, intended audience, proficiency level, in which context are the materials to be used, EGP or EAP, how has the language been presented and organized, how many units and how many hours per unit, what is the author's view on language and methodology, are the materials to be used as the main core course or to be supplementary to it? Is a teacher's book in print and locally available? Is a vocabulary list or index included? What visual material does the textbook contain? Is the layout and presentation clear or cluttered? Is the material too culturally biased or specific? Do the materials represent minority groups? Is the textbook accompanied by audio or video material? If tests are included, are they useful for your particular learner? Internal evaluation: are all the skills covered? In what way are the materials branded and sequenced? Where reading or discourse skills are involved? Are listening text recordings authentic or artificial? Do speaking materials incorporate what we know about the nature of real interaction? Are exercises and tests related to learner needs? Are materials suitable for different learning styles? Are the materials sufficiently transparent to motivate both teacher and student? And here is the grants checklist catalyst stage 1. Communicative, aims, teachable, available add-ons, level, your impression, student interest, try and test. Stage 2, questionnaire path phases in the textbook evaluation process. Evaluation of materials as work plan, evaluation of materials in process, evaluation of learner outcomes from materials, involving learners in the textbook evaluation process. Types of material adaptation, we have omission, addition, reduction, extension, rewriting or modification, replacement, reordering, and criteria for evaluating educational websites, audience, credibility, accuracy, objectivity, coverage, currency, aesthetic or visual appeal, navigation, accessibility,